The chief correspondent is back, which means breaking news. What have you got?
Arsenal booked their place in the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup with a convincing 2-0 victory over Port Vale, showing a balance of control, patience, and sharpness in front of goal. The Gunners entered the game with confidence following a run of solid results in the league, but the challenge of facing a lower league side always comes with the potential for surprises. Port Vale, backed by a noisy home crowd, were determined to cause an upset, but Arsenal's composure and quality ultimately made the difference as they advanced to the next stage of the competition without too much drama. From the opening whistle, Arsenal set the tempo of the match. Mikel Arteta rotated his squad to give opportunities to some fringe players while resting key starters, yet the visitors still looked assured in possession. Youngsters were sprinkled throughout the lineup alongside experienced figures, providing a blend of energy and guidance. Arsenal's midfield dictated the pace, with quick passing triangles and controlled build-up play that forced Port Vale to drop deeper and try to soak up pressure. The first half was largely one-way traffic, with Arsenal dominating territory and possession, but Port Vale worked hard to stay compact and frustrate their opponents. The home side's defensive discipline limited Arsenal to half chances in the early stages. Shots from distance tested the goalkeeper, and crosses from wide areas were repelled by a determined Vale backline. The breakthrough, however, always felt inevitable, and it arrived just before the interval. After sustained pressure, a clever move saw Arsenal unlock the defense, with Eberechi Eze, who has quickly become a standout since joining the club, slipping a precise pass into the box. The ball found its way to Leandro Trossard, who calmly slotted home to give Arsenal a deserved 1-0 lead. That opener changed the complexion of the game. Port Vale now had to chase the contest, and this created more space for Arsenal to exploit. The Gunners returned for the second half with renewed purpose, moving the ball quickly and pressing high whenever they lost possession. Port Vale had a couple of moments on the counter-attack, but Arsenal's defensive shape was strong. Jacob Kiwior and Gabriel at the back ensured that the home side rarely got close to troubling Aaron Ramsdale, who had a relatively quiet evening in goal. The decisive second goal arrived midway through the second half, effectively sealing Arsenal's passage to the next round. Once again, Eze was at the heart of the move, drifting past his marker before threading a perfectly timed ball into the path of Eddie Nketiah. The striker, who has built a reputation as a reliable scorer in domestic cup competitions, made no mistake as he buried the chance into the bottom corner. At 2-0, Arsenal had the cushion they needed, and from then on, they controlled the game with professionalism. Port Vale continued to battle, urged on by their supporters, and they nearly pulled one back late on when a looping header from a set-piece forced Ramsdale into action. The Arsenal keeper tipped the effort over the bar, preserving his clean sheet. That was as close as the home side came, with Arsenal managing the closing stages calmly, using their bench to give minutes to more squad players and keeping their shape intact. The final whistle confirmed a comfortable win that keeps Arsenal's hopes alive in this competition. This victory was more than just progression into the round of 16, it was another opportunity for Arteta to test the depth of his squad. Several players who do not always start in the Premier League were able to impress, showing that they are ready to contribute when called upon. Eze, in particular, caught the eye with his creativity and composure, while Nketiah continued to underline his value as a goal scorer. The back line also deserves credit for maintaining focus and ensuring that Port Vale never gained momentum. For Arsenal, the Carabao Cup offers both a chance at silverware and valuable match practice for the squad. Arteta has made clear that he values every competition, and the way his team approached this tie reflected that mindset. There was no complacency despite facing lower league opposition, and the professional manner of the performance will please both the manager and the fans. On the other hand, Port Vale can take pride in their effort. They matched Arsenal for spells and defended bravely, but ultimately the quality gap showed. Nights like this provide valuable experience for their players and supporters, and their determination throughout the match was commendable. As Arsenal look ahead, their focus will soon return to the Premier League and European commitments, but this win ensures they remain in the hunt for domestic cup glory. With a squad full of depth and young talent eager to prove themselves, the Gunners will believe they can go far in this tournament. For now, though, they can be satisfied with the job well done at Vale Park, advancing with a 2-0 victory that was efficient, composed, and decisive.